Welcome to Puerto Rico English News, the only English-speaking broadcast of local Puerto Rican news and entertainment. Please subscribe. Keep us alive.
January 7, 2022, San Juan, Puerto Rico, 20-year-old Natalia Ayala Rivera died at the Rio Peadras Medical Center after a hit-and-run incident in San Juan. According to the preliminary report, Ayala Rivera had problems with a tire on her BMW vehicle at around 12:10 a.m. on Calif Street, exit towards the PR-22 expressway in San Juan. The young woman was run over by the driver of a dark-colored vehicle, who did not stop at the scene or leave any data. Meanwhile, the driver of the vehicle that fled the scene was identified as Carlos Julian Moldonado, Director of Tourism for the municipality of Barcelona, Puerto Rico. Carlos Sosa Bijo was also run over and slightly injured. He had stopped to help the woman. After the impact, he took Ayala Rivera in his personal vehicle to the Rio Peadras Medical Center, where she later died. Carlos Julian Maldonado has been suspended as Director of Tourism for the municipality of Barcelona, Puerto Rico. He has refused to be interviewed by police and requested legal counsel.
Sunday, January 9, Salinas, Puerto Rico, a man was murdered and another was injured at dawn Sunday while they were traveling through the Jose de Diego Marginal in the Coco neighborhood, in Salinas. The passenger of the car suffered gunshot wounds that caused his death on the spot. At the moment, the identity of the victims is unknown.
Sunday, January 9, Penuelas, Puerto Rico. The police investigated this Sunday the discovery of a body shot inside a vehicle on the PR-132 of the La Moca sector, in Penuelas. The wounds suffered by the deceased caused his death on the spot. The victim's identity has not been released.
Friday, January 7, Barraquitas, Puerto Rico, Shalimar Soto Rivera, 23, and Carlos Machito Delgado Otero, 28, were the couple shot and killed in the basement of a residence they had rented for 3 months. The police are investigating whether the world of drug trafficking is related to the double murder reported on Three Kings Day in the Barranca neighborhood in Barraquitas, and in which a young woman allegedly pregnant and her partner lost their lives. The investigators are reviewing videos of the security cameras of some neighboring residences to see if they can identify the murderers.
Friday, January 7, at least 5 carjackings were registered between Thursday night and Friday morning, in the municipalities of Carolina, Ceibe, Toa Baja, and Dorado, the police reported. In all incidents, the individuals carried firearms.
December 27, 2021, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Jose Luis Hernandez-Mercado disappeared from the Brisas de Capay residential complex, in San Juan. A week later, the Puerto Rico police have not been able to find the whereabouts of the young man, which worries his family, who have even had to clarify errors in the official report of the authorities on the disappearance. Crystal Hernandez-Mercado, the missing man's sister, begged the authorities to do their job to find her brother, because there is a desperate wife, a sister, a 1-month-old baby, and a mother who cannot live without him. She added, they have yet to interview the last person who saw him. Jose Luis Hernandez-Mercado is 25 years old, 5 feet 4 inches tall, 160 pounds, 72 kilos, white complexion, dark brown eyes and black hair. At the time of his disappearance he was wearing black shorts, gray shirt and black sandals Puma brand.
January 7, San Juan Airport, Judge Vanessa Sanchez, of the Carolina Court, found cause for the arrest of a man on 2 charges related to the violation of the COVID-19 executive order at the Luis Muñoz Marin International Airport. The current executive order establishes that every person who arrives at the airports in Puerto Rico has to fill out the traveler's declaration. This includes providing proof of vaccine at least 2 weeks prior and a negative COVID-19 test within 48 hours of arrival or a negative COVID-19 test within 48 hours of arrival and 7 days quarantine. The Carolina court found cause for 2 charges and set him a lump sum bond of $4,000.
Wednesday, January 5, faced with allegations by a federal monitor about incidents of violence and lack of personnel, Federal Judge Francisco Besaza ordered that the possibility of some minors being transferred out of the juvenile institutions of the Department of Correction and Rehabilitation be evaluated. The Secretary of Corrections, Ana Escobar, indicated that they will recruit 81 officers and demonstrate to the federal court that it is not necessary to transfer minors out of juvenile institutions.
Corruption scandals have often dominated the headlines in Puerto Rico, but more in these past years following Hurricane Maria as the FBI hauls in politicians misusing relief funds. In the days and weeks after the mass protests in Puerto Rico demanding the ouster of the island's now former governor, Ricardo Rossello, a majority of the news coverage focused on the scandal and corruption that encased him. Pages of rude, sexist, and homophobic text messages were leaked to the press. "Don't we have some cadavers to feed our crows?" Puerto Rico's chief financial officer wrote in the chat, referring to dead bodies in the wake of Hurricane Maria. 2 days before the text messages were leaked, 2 high-ranking officials came under investigation for corruption by the FBI. June 8, 2021, Julia Kelleher, the embattled former Education Secretary of Puerto Rico who oversaw the island's response to Hurricane Maria, has pleaded guilty to 2 federal conspiracy charges in a wide-ranging corruption probe that scrutinized her business dealings while leading the U.S. territory's school system. Kelleher was first indicted in 2019 and accused of conspiring to illegally direct millions in federal funds to contractors with whom she had personal ties. About 6 months later, in January 2020, she faced a second indictment accusing her of offering up a plot of public school land in exchange for help buying a luxury apartment. September 2019, a former administrator of the Federal Emergency Management Agency was arrested Tuesday for taking bribes from the president of a company that landed $1.8 billion in federal contracts to repair Puerto Rico's electrical grid after Hurricane Maria devastated the island in September 2017. Federal authorities arrested Asha Tribble, FEMA's former deputy administrator for the region that includes Puerto Rico. Donald Keith Ellison, the former president of Cobra Acquisitions, was also arrested. January 2020. The transitional, short-termed, Puerto Rico Governor Wanda Vasquez faced controversy over potential corruption following the discovery of a warehouse full of disaster supplies, some dating back to 2017's Hurricane Maria. March 2020, Abel Nazario Quiñones, former senator and former mayor of the municipality of Yauco, Puerto Rico, was sentenced by United States District Court Judge Joseph N. LaPlante to serve 18 months in prison. After a 12-day jury trial, Abel Nazario Quiñones was found guilty of 23 counts of false statements and 5 counts of wire fraud. The U.S. Department of Labor Office of Inspector General and the FBI were in charge of the investigation. January 10, 2022, San Juan, Puerto Rico. The trial starts for former senator and mayor of Yauco, Puerto Rico, Nelson Del Valle Colon. He is accused of conspiracy, theft of federal funds, bribery in the form of kickbacks, fraud and obstruction of justice. August 2020, a federal grand jury in the District of Puerto Rico returned a 13-count indictment against legislator Maria Milagros Charbonnier Laureano, Charbonnier, aka Tata, a member of the Puerto Rico House of Representatives, as well as her husband, son and her assistant for their alleged participation in a years-long theft, bribery, and kickback conspiracy. According to the indictment, on August 7, 2020, Charbonnier Laureano granted Acevedo Saboas a salary increase of $2,900 in exchange for the employee returning $1,500 from each paycheck. Payments were made through bank transfers, using the ATH Móvil service and in cash. Charbonnier Laureano, also the former president of the Ethics Commission of the House of Representatives of Puerto Rico, has pled not guilty. December 2021, the mayor of Guanabo, Puerto Rico was arrested on charges of conspiracy, soliciting a bribe, and extortion. The indictment against Angel Perez-Otero, mayor of Guanabo, alleges that he was involved in a bribery conspiracy in which, from late 2019 through May 2021, he received and accepted $5,000 cash payments on a regular basis from an individual. In exchange for these payments, the mayor agreed to obtain and retain contracts for a construction company and ensured that the company's invoices were promptly paid. December 9, 2021, the mayor of Trujillo Alto, Jose Luis Cruz-Cruz, revealed that he has proceeded with a summary suspension against Radames Benitez-Cardona, one of those arrested by FBI agents linked to the public corruption scheme orchestrated by businessman Oscar Santamaria Torres. The indictment alleges, around June of 2017, Radames Benitez-Cardona, a government official and agent of Trujillo Alto, enriched himself by accepting bribes and kickbacks from individuals such as Oscar Santamaria Torres in exchange for securing municipal contracts for his companies, JR Asphalt and Waste Management. The indictment alleges that certain individuals negotiated a bribe and kickback scheme with defendant Benitez-Cardona on behalf of businessmen. Mayor Cruz-Cruz has denied involvement. Felix Delgado-Montalvo, former mayor of Catano, Puerto Rico, unjustly enriched himself by accepting things of value, including cash payments, from business people, and by awarding municipal contracts. Delgado-Montalvo pleaded guilty to one count of conspiracy. He is scheduled to be sentenced on March 8, 2022, and faces a maximum penalty of 5 years in prison. It has been speculated that Delgado-Montalvo is cooperating with the FBI as part of his plea deal. The FBI has stated more arrests are to come.
January 6, the municipality of Catano lost a first round in the lawsuit to get the Bayamon court to declare void 47 contracts with JR Asphalt for $9.7 million, which were acquired by bribing former Mayor Felix Delgado-Montalvo, according to a plea agreement of accused business partner Raymond Rodriguez Santos. The liquidation process of the JR Asphalt Company advanced with the appointment of a judicial administrator. The company will be dissolved amid disputes between the partners, who, in addition, are linked in the federal jurisdiction for the payment of bribes to the former mayor of Catano, Felix Delgado-Montalvo. Businessman Mario Villagas Vargas, pictured here, has pled not guilty to corruption charges.
Saturday, January 8, the Department of Health reports Puerto Rico has reached 718 hospitalizations for COVID-19 for the first time. Meanwhile, the Department of Health reported 4 additional deaths as a result of the virus and a positivity rate of 39.73%. They confirm that 56 nursing homes in Puerto Rico have outbreaks of COVID-19. The health department has not prohibited family visits, although some facilities are imposing their own restrictions. U.S. health regulators cut the wait time for people to receive a booster dose of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine on Friday, 5 months instead of 6. Children between 12 and 15 years old can receive the booster of the vaccine against COVID-19. A third dose has also been approved for immunosuppressed children aged 5 to 11 years.
Since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, the operation of the main tourist attractions in Puerto Rico has been at the mercy of the advance of the virus and, consequently, the restrictions issued by the government. El Yunque National Forest is operating by reservations. Go to recreation.gov. Reservations can be made up to 1 month in advance through recreation.gov. A percentage of reservations will be held for release 24 hours prior to entry to accommodate spontaneous outdoor visits.
The explosion of COVID-19 cases in Puerto Rico has led the island's government, starting Tuesday and lasting through January 18, to shut down nighttime business activities and impose a dry law, among others. The new Executive Order 2021-086 signed by Governor Pedro Pierluisi has been roundly criticized by local businessmen and bans alcohol sales and shuts down businesses catering to the public from midnight to 5 a.m.
In entertainment news, at an unusual Golden Globe Awards gala, where films such as West Side Story dominated the top awards in the film categories, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association proceeded with its Film and Television Awards with no television broadcast, nominees, celebrity guests, red carpet, host, press, or even an online broadcast. Directed by Academy Award winner Steven Spielberg, West Side Story tells the classic tale of fierce rivalries of Puerto Rican and American gangs and young love in 1957 New York City.
Here's your weather for the week for the north side of the island. Tuesday, high of 81. Low of 72 and a 39% chance of rain. Wednesday, high of 82. low of 72 and a 11% chance of rain. Thursday, high of 82, low of 70 and a 31% chance of rain. Friday, high of 84, low of 70 and a 48% chance of rain. Saturday, high of 82, low of 70 and a 52% chance of rain. Sunday, high of 82, low of 72 and a 39% chance of rain.